Hello guys, welcome to another little piece of our modular building series. In this section we are going to focus on looking at the little corner details here and how to build those in. So we've got our little base, we also have a little ledge here or a little ridge in the building, and at the top we would have, say, your little parapet on the top. So I'm going to show you how to do the base, but the same techniques can be used either for the ridge or for the rooftop or any other details you want to add. So let's hop over to Max here and we will get started. So when doing these corner elements, what can be really useful actually is to do them at the same time as a wall element of the same type. So if this is the base corner and it's going to have a little stepping stone coming out of it, this is going to have the same step coming out of it. So it's useful to do both of these at the same time, or at least do part of it at the same time. So what we're going to do is we're going to select all three of these and we are going to hold shift and move them out of the way and clone that to an object, and we'll call it base underscore corner. We might change that as we go on, but we'll leave that for now. And what we will do is we will go to top level, and eventually we're going to split these two apart. So let's see, I'm just going to move this guy. I'm going to turn on my snaps toggle and I'm just going to move him over to the side here. And that's perfect. So let me see, I will affect pivot only, and I'm going to move my pivot down to my corner point. Where is it going? There we go. And what we'll do is the same as we've done before. I am going to go into my edge mode, select that, select all of these. You can see how my computer's going a little bit slow here. Just drag and select all of these and we will connect with 3 segments, which gives us our 4 total stripes, each one 25 centimeters. And what I'm going to do, you don't have to match this exactly, but what I've done in my example is I've taken these bottom 2 segments and made those 25 centimeters each. Or sorry, no, they are 25 centimeters. I'm taking these bottom 2 segments of 25 centimeters each to give me a 50 centimeter base. And that will leave me just the top section here being wall. And what I'll need to do is I'll need to replicate my little cornerstones that we did a couple of videos. So we'll need to replicate these stones on that corner. So there's a quick and easy way to do that rather than remodeling the whole thing. If you bear with me, I'll show you that shortly. So what I'm going to do is I am going to select these bottom faces and we're just going to do the simplest wee kind of step out here. So I'm just going to hit extrude. Maybe 10 centimeters is probably enough actually, but all I need to do is change this from group mode to local normal. So this video, I'm making it, whoops, this video is being made on a different day than the last videos. Normally these wee options here like local normal would carry over, but because I shut down Max and then opened it again, just have to pick local normal again, make sure it's the option I want to go for. I'm like, okay, so we've got a little extrusion here, and what do I want to do? I will go back into my edge mode. I will just keep this nice and easy. All I'm going to do is select these top couple of lines here, and I'm just going to move those down a bit. Oops. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn off snaps because it can kind of mess with my axis movement a little bit. So there we go, just vertically on the Z axis, just move that down. And that gives us a nice little step there. And what I can actually do is get rid of this line in the middle here. I don't really need it anymore for anything. So I double click on that, I will select through the entire loop. And then I hold Control and Backspace, and that will get rid of that. And there we have a nice little step on the base. Now what I want to do is these little end polygons here, these guys here, I'm just going to hit delete on that. And here we have another one around this back side. We'll hit delete. Now what I could do, but what I don't want to do just yet, is these bottom faces on the building. Now the reason why I don't want to delete that just yet is because if we look at, where are we looking? There's one for vertices. This little vertex here, this is vertically in line with the one at the top. And of course the one at the top there, this is where we would stack our next tile, whether it's a bit of wall or a window or whatever on top of. So because this extrudes out a little bit from the front, this front face doesn't line up with all the other faces. So it's nice just to leave this little polygon at the bottom and use this little vertex if we need to snap things together later on. So yeah, leave that there, that's grand. And what we need to do now, at this point, we can separate these two pieces. So I'm just going to click on polygon mode again, right click and choose polygon. And I will select all of you guys, make sure the underside selected. And I will scroll down and click detach. So what do we call the last one? That was base mid. We'll call this mid because this will be the middle section that goes between corner sections. Base mid, I think that's how we renamed the last ones. And that's okay. So now if we go top level, we have one piece. I'll just separate you away. And we have the other piece. Now this piece we will just unwrap exactly the same as we've done any other pieces. Just unwrap UVW. And because this is actually so simple, let me see, can we do anything nice with this? Open UV editor. Give it a second to catch up here. And is my little texture here? No, it's not. Just to remind you how to do that then. Sorry, you can't really see it here. The text is very small. We go to pick texture. And eventually it'll load up. We'll choose bitmap. And navigate to our little trim sheet that we've been using before. If you have your own trim sheet. I wonder if they have quick access. Maybe somewhere here. Okay, we will. Here we go. Just use that little trim sheet. So we've got our polys here. We need to assign our material as well, actually. I'll just hit M for material. There we go. Apply you to that guy. So with our poly selected, I will hit the straighten selection, and that will just flatten everything out. I don't need to hit relax. Well, actually I do, that relaxed it a nice bit there. The straighten selection, you can see there when we hit it, it messes up the proportions a wee bit. If we hit relax, that will put them back to the way they should be. So I want to see which one of these is the top. So just click, that's the top, that's near the bottom, okay. So try and keep it the right way orientated. We'll just select all of these. I will rotate 90 degree clockwise using this little button here. Click. And make sure that top is matching the top. Yes, it is. So I want these two to be my brick. And then these two at the bottom. In fact, the three at the bottom. Not that we really need to work on the one at the bottom here. But they can all be this kind of concrete texture. So we'll select these bottom three. And I will hit brick. I'll just bring them up there. And in fact, because we're not really going to see the bottom one, I'll just break that off as well. And I'll just overlap it a bit and not make any big difference. So I will select these two. And now I'm going to just scale them up so he gets as much of that concrete texture as possible. Now, because we're not touching both edges, it won't quite loop from left to right the way our brick would. So this edge here would loop round to this edge here, but just what's happening in the middle, that they won't loop with each other. But that's okay, because it's just this plain concrete, you won't really notice a seam unless you get really up close. So it's not something you really need to worry about. Okay, we'll take these two. These are going to be our brick texture, and we will just take you and brick, and then stack them both on top. So this is all stuff we've seen before. There's nothing you haven't seen in the other videos. You should be able to do this part in your sleep by now. And we will just make sure you match up there. Bring you up. And just... there's our old window that we haven't fixed yet. But let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we did, we'll match that up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we just need to bring this all the way to the edge here. Again, making our bricks a wee bit less than actual life size, but better to do that and have them tiled together. So we just get right up into that corner there, make sure we get the wee bit of mortar, make sure we get as many pixels here so they match up. And there you can see that is this first piece done correctly. But we need to fix our corner piece here. So we close you temporarily. Now what I could do is I could start modeling in these corner pieces, but why bother when we've already done all that work? So what I'm going to do is actually just copy this and take part of it and attach it onto this one. So here's what I'll do. I'll select this little piece over here. Or rather, I will right click and make sure I'm in top level mode so that I can deselect this piece and now select this guy. With my move tool selected, I'm just going to move you over here. I'm holding the shift key and moving them down, and with the shift key held down, that means I can create a copy of this, and we're not really worried about the name for now. We're going to rename it in a second. Now here's where the magic happens. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select this little piece here. I'm going to go to polygon mode, and I'm just going to delete these top 4 polygons. We know that this is exactly 50 centimeters because we divided our meter tile in 4, so that's okay. We'll just delete those top 2 sections. And what we're going to do with this one, we are going to go back to top level. So we can select this corner unit. I can't just straight up delete some polygons from here. That won't work. That will mess up my UV. If I just select some polygons, if I go back down to editable poly mode, select some polygons, delete them, it's going to mess up my entire UV of this, and I'll have to start again anyway. So to save myself some time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go edit poly. Add another edit poly modifier here, and you'll notice that adds that on top of the unwrap UVW, and with that in place we can do some more stuff with this. And very simply, all I'm going to do is grab all of these bottom verts and just hit delete, just straight up delete, and you see that gets rid of those bottom polygons but still leaves my UVs in place, and that's exactly what I want. And what I want to do now is I'm going to move this guy in place on top of this one. And we're just moving it in place for now. And I will activate my snaps, take this little corner here and snap to this corner. And make sure I'm on top level. And you'll see that even this one now, its pivot point matches up with that little point down there that we said to leave earlier. And what I'm going to do, still in edit poly mode, I'm going to choose attach, and I'm just going to attach this bottom bit to the top, like so. Now this is all one object, so we can go back and we can change the name of it. Base corner, there we go. And all we have to do is fix these UVs, which will not really be very difficult at all. But I can't just go underneath here to this UV. I'll click this one. We'll get a little error message. So what we'll do is we'll add another unwrap UV on top. We can stack these things. We can stack our edit polys and we can stack our UVs. And it's perfectly okay to do this. It's got a UV modifier. When we go to export it at the end, it's just going to have its final UV layout. Everything's going to be fine. But just when we're working on maximum modeling, we can stack up these modifiers as many times as we want. So I can open my UV editor now that these are all one. Just open you back up. You will see that all my tiles at the top are all nice and lovely. And all we have to worry about are these little pieces on the bottom. So what I'm going to do, in fact it's done it for me already. I was going to split these edges, so I go to my edge mode. If they're not split already, if they're not already the green seams, we can just select those edges and hit our break button on the wee explode section. But they were already done, so we don't need to worry about it. What I'm going to do now is select all of my polygons here. And I will just hit straighten selection and relax until flat. And I'll rotate it again. And you can see that that gives it a nice little flattened breakdown. And I'll do the exact same with these three. Straighten selection, relax until flat. And this time I'll rotate clockwise. And you'll see it gives us our two corners here. Now, if I want to be particular, I can shift this one over here. Whoops. Make sure to select all three. Shift this one over here. And I could, in fact, at this point, go back to my edge mode. Right click. Let me deselect. Select this guy. Right click and stitch selected. And you'll see it just connects them together into one single piece. And you might want to do that just to shrink down the number of UV islands you have and make sure that these look nicely together. Not necessary, but you can do that, and it's always useful to remember that we stitch selected tool. So again, I'm going to change my background map here to show my actual texture. And I'm going to select these guys, go back into polygon mode. I always find it easiest to work in. Select these guys, I just bring them at concrete again. I'll bring you down as low as I can go, and then scale you up, holding the control key, and just get as much of that resolution as we can. Whoops, way too far. Computer's a bit slow here, it's a little bit laggy. Let me see, get you up there. There we are, perfect. I'll let you go there now. And that just overhangs just a little bit, but it's nothing to worry about. In fact, it's just going a little bit into the brick there, so just shrink you down. There we go. So now you can see we have the concrete applied to the bottom corner here. So that was very, very simple. We use the exact same process to do any of these corner pieces here. Say for your little ridges, it works the exact same way. We take the corner piece and we take one of the pieces beside it. We put our geometry in first, and then we split them apart, and then we just UV them. And again, we can attach pre-made corner pieces. We can attach different pieces together just to save ourselves a little bit of modeling time, a little bit of UV time. So we will possibly leave this video here for now. Don't forget to save your work. There we go. And in the next video, we will export these and bring them into Unreal. So you've seen there, I've created, I've got 5 completed pieces. I didn't finish this big window, but I've got 5 complete pieces, which is enough to make a very, very simple building, albeit one that doesn't have a roof just yet. If you want to build additional pieces, it's really just about continuing on with these tools that we've already used and the same thought process, and just let your imagination run wild with it. If you remember kind of your grids and how to unwrap, it's really just whatever then your imagination can come up with that can fit in that framework to make the rest of your building. So we'll leave it there for the model, and I hope you learned quite a bit from that. And then the next video, we'll take it into Unreal and import our models and start to click them all together and get something that resembles a building. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. If you like the videos, please subscribe, like the video, share it, whatever, and I will see you for the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.